we are going to talk about the book Paula of Isabel Allende. Did you remember that the last week we were studying about the book, but we were talking about reading and writing? Today we are going to talk about grammar. So first of all, I'm going to introduce our agenda, we have the welcome, the passage about the book Paula. Also, we're gonna see what is a descriptive paragraph, punctuation, simple past, and past perfect. And at the end, we're gonna see the uses of. We're gonna have a period for questions. Okay. So let's start. I need a volunteer who reads the first passage. Okay. It says, doctors inform Allende that Paula has brain damage and will likely never recover from her coma. Okay, that's the first passage. What do you see there, guys? Yes, there's no punctuation there. Exactly. Okay. Where do you think that we have to write a punctuation? Anna? At the end. Exactly. So here we have to put a period. Remember, always at the end of each sentence, we have to put a period. So here, I'm missing one. Okay. Now, please, can you read the second one? Allende struggles with the pain and guilt of letting Paula die, but eventually reads her will and mourns her loss. Okay, in that sentence, what do you realize? Is there punctuation in that sentence? No, exactly. So we're missing two punctuations there. Which one, Carmen? Yes, we are missing a comma after Paula died here. Excellent. And also, we are missing the period at the end of the sentence. Very good, guys. Now, Monica, can you read the last one? Family gathers around Paula to talk, sing, and reminisce. Allende crawls into the bed with Paula and holds her hand as she passes on. Interesting, that passage, right? So what are we missing there? What, Jessica? The commas. Exactly. We are missing the commas here because it says the family gathers around from Paula to talk, comma, sing, comma, and reminds that here we had to write the period. Allende crawls into the bed with Paula and holds her hand as she passes on. Okay? So also there, we're missing at the end the period. Is that clear? Thank you so much, guys, for helping me reading the passages. So now, we're gonna see. Okay? Those are the rules about the uses of the period and when do we have to use. So first of all, remember that the period we use at the end in declarative sentences or in statements. Like for example, she loves reading novels, period. Okay? Other uses can be when we're having abbreviations, also with decimal points, we use the period. Like for example, I say doctor, period, Mr. period. In the case of United States of America, I will write the abbreviations. I will write U, period, S, period, A, period. Okay? That is the uses of the period. Always we use at the end of declarative sentences or statements. Later, to separate parts of the sentences, making it clearly, those are the other uses of the comma, right? So remember, if I'm talking about, for example, cars, okay, I say, I like the Toyota, comma, Nissan, comma, Lexus, comma. So in that case, I will have to add what? A comma. But there we have another example. It says, I bought apples, comma, bananas, comma, oranges, comma, and at the end I will write, and grapes. And what can you find there, guys? That at the end also I have to put the period. Also, we have to use before coordinating conjunctions. Remember that the last class I told you about fanboys. What is fanboys? For, and, nor, but, or, yet, or so. That it makes it in compound sentences. Like for example, she was tired, comma, but she finished her work. The other should be like after introductory words or phrases that I will use. For example, after the meeting, comma, we went for lunch. Period. And also we use a comma to non-separate to separate non-essential information. Or for example, my brother, comma, who lives in New York, comma, is visiting next week. Okay? Do you understand, guys, the uses of the period and the comma? Yes? Okay. Luis, you told me? Yes, remember, fanboys. For and, nor, but, or, yet, or so. Okay, those are conjunctions. Those are coordinating conjunctions that we can use when we are writing especially, right? So, another ones are the semicolon and the colon. Okay, when do I use the semicolon? Okay, remember, we use the semicolon when we want to connect two closely related independent clauses, okay? Like, for example, I want to stay up later, semicolon, however, colon, I was too tired, okay? Comma, sorry, in that one. Other uses are in complex lists, like, for example, it says, on our trip, comma, we visit Paris, comma, semicolon, France, from Italy, semicolon, Madrid, and Spain. Okay? So that in that case is because it's kind of complex. Okay? We use the column to introduce a list of explanation or quotations. Okay, like for example, she packed 3 things, sunscreen, comma, a hat, comma, and a book. And at the end we put what? The period. Okay? But after she packed 3 things, we will use the column. On the other hand, also we use when we are having a before a quotation, right? Like for example, she always says, column, work hard, dream big, okay? And between a title also we can use the column, like for example, Shakespeare, column, complete works, okay? I don't know if you have any question, guys, about this one. No? Okay. So now, in couples, you are going to write a passage, okay, related to the book. You're going to look for a part of the book that you really, really like. And something important, you are going to write using the correct punctuation that we have been studying, okay? Is that clear? Okay. So, you have 10 minutes. You're going to do it in couples, okay, guys? So, as soon as you have ready, you let me know. Okay, thank you so much. Well, your essays were pretty good. And now, just to finish with the grammar part about this one, did you remember when do I use simple past and when do I have to use the past perfect? Yes, excellent, Carolina. Simple past with activities that we did in the past and finished there. Okay, very good, excellent. What about you, Alvaro? Okay. Can you tell me an example? Very good. I went to McDonald's. Excellent. I went. I'm not coming. I am not in the process. The action finished there. Very good. Now, can you tell me the difference between the simple past and the past perfect? Maria? Okay, excellent. In the case of this past perfect, the action began in the past and can continue into the present. Okay, so there we use the past tense simple past to speak about an action which happened, began, and end in the past. Like Alvi said, very good. And in the case of the past perfect, we use to describe an action that finished or happened before another action. Exactly. That was exactly what Maria said. Okay. And there we have some examples. We have, I read that book. I ate breakfast at 9 o'clock. I watched that show many times when I lived in Korea. I had never danced the tango before I visited Argentina. And I had never heard that So until I moved to Korea. Okay. Do you understand, guys? Okay. So now, in the same couples that you were working before, you are going to complete this practice that I'm going to send it to you right now in the way that you're going to use correctly the simple past and the past